I am against AI, because AI smells like ass. And people using AI, literally, unironically, most likely have no real friends. Because, like, if your only way of communicating is by using chatbots, and that you are like, you know, how do I say that? It's the only retort to talk to people and to feel like appreciated and seen is by talking to a chatbot, then girl, you are doomed. And I'm sorry to tell you that, but you are indeed very doomed. So what has this been about, girly pop? So I made a little tweet. Oh, it will eat anyone who uses AI with a rusty spoon, as you should. Plush, thank you for the 7 months. I appreciate you. Before we start again, another disclaimer. First of all, like I said, I have been an artist since the moment I was born, girly pops. I was literally born. I was already 5 years old. I already was fully conscious and I already picked up a pen. That's how long I've been drawing. But in all seriousness, since I was a kid, for as long as I can remember, and digitally, we have been drawing since 2012. So, girly pops, we have been on the internet while being like drawing like some like kid, you know, just having fun drawing and shit like that. You know, when AI wasn't the bane of our existence yet. And again, for me, people love to say that AI is like, you know, like, oh, we can just copy, blah, blah, blah. It's so lifeless. And I will have to show you one example. Somebody, because now I pissed off the AI bros. Anything I post, they generate it in AI. They did that under a post I made of Silas. It wasn't Silas, it was his ugly cousin Phyllis. That's how bad it looked. But this is gonna be a long stream, most likely 1 or 2 hours, you know, because we can. Girly pops, the things we saw, and the fact that some people also are like, yeah, but people should know that this doesn't work. But then how about you share with the class about things to show us if it works or not, girly pop? Because literally, people talking just to say shit like, it doesn't work. You're not contributing to a lot, you know? Like, how about you share with the class, you know? Also, hi, MC Terror. Hello, welcome in. Like, again, like, share with the class. I literally conducted tests, like, as far as someone like me can conduct them. I am not an IT guy. I am not a professional in coding, which is like, I worked with coders and shit like that. That shit's complicated, okay? That shit's complicated. Respect to all the people who know how to code, because ain't an easy job. Ain't an easy job at all. So, like, I was just doing as a basic human being, like, I mean, with much more brain than the people that are unironically always using AI, you know? Because they have, like, the brain capacity, like, way lower than people that actually, like, you know, do things. So I was trying to think a bit like those idiots, you know, like, how do they generate images? And the thing is, like, I tested it on an image that has already been generated that I found on Pinterest. Because I'm not going to use my art to test on that. I'm not going to use anyone's art to test on that. I was using a thing that I found on Pinterest, because Pinterest, just so you have an idea, girly pops, Pinterest, that saloperie de Pinterest is full of AI. Full of AI. You look, just first things you come, you already have AI. And that shit looks always horrendously like the same. It's always the same fucking thing. You can scroll on Pinterest and you're gonna see a lot of AI bullshit. A lot of it. Like AI, bam, you know, like you can literally just take whatever fucking AI thing you see there and use it to conduct tests. Like this one we saw last time. Always the same fucking thing. Same disgusting AI. Look, same thing as the image that I literally tested on. Same fucking thing. Same fucking thing, you know? You posted your cat? Oh my god. Wait, I'm kind of open it like, yeah, because I, you literally lied. Where is the cat? You literally lied to me. The swirly hair thing. No, I swear, like this. This, like, come on, like, guys. Oh, Seigneur Dieu. So AI in general. Oh yeah, you're not allowed to post in general. So it might be the, you know, like, one of my mods must have deleted it. Most likely. most likely they must have deleted it because there is a channel just for that, which is called the putain, my channel names, like, you know, cutie poopy stinks, aka pets. That's the channel you can put this on. But again, like I said, AI, same. Like, you see, I literally just went on Pinterest. First guy that I saw took it. So, like, you can see that this is exactly the same fucking shit as the image that I used for testing. Like, literally, it's all the same fucking thing. Like, AI is always the same thing. Look at how fucking it's always the same thing. It's the same fucking thing because AI doesn't know what else to do. Like, they say artists have no imagination and AI is so different. Girl, look at all these images right now. Look at all these images right now and tell me these bitches don't all look the same. Like, please. SVP, les gars, mais s'il vous plaît. Non, mais je hurle de rire, quoi. Look at that. It's all the same fucking thing. It's all the same fucking thing. Look at that. The same. Over and over and over and over again. Like, brothers, AI has no creativity. It's always the same thing in the same stolen art styles, you know? Girls, it's always the same fucking thing. So yeah, like, again, this is literally just go on Pinterest, take whatever, you know, and you can test on this shit because it has already been ran through AI. So, you know, I didn't even put like any artist at risk because I just took something that was already stolen to make this experiment. So I was thinking, like, how do these AI bros work? Most of the AI stuffs, you need to log into that. You need to give your email. I was like, brother, I ain't gonna do that. So I'm gonna use the tools that like are like not requiring you to sign in because I can imagine that an AI bro is that lazy that they wouldn't go that as far as to sign up with an email. So I was just using the free things, which again, it's not ideal. Like, don't use AI. But for testing purposes, I had to because I wanted to see if the methods that we have been using are working. But obviously, testing it on something that has already AI. And then obviously, the first time ever I opened ChatGPT, that bot made me so... Sometimes I wanted to hit it in the face. Like, it's so fucking stupid. So, like, you know, just testing out to see if things work as they should be working. And that's the only time I, like, touch upon these type of things, you know, because I am a proud... I can say proudly that I don't use AI in my day-to-day life, you know, high game guy. And so I was like, you know, I need to think like them. I need to like, you know, Cynthia meme gif, you know, like where she's like tapping her bald head, like, how do these people, like, you know, how would they work with it, you know? And so it was interesting actually because like I made this post. One thing we've learned is that using these as an extra layer doesn't work. We learned that? Great. First thing we learned, amazing. People actually were saying things like, yeah, excuse me, but when it comes to these type of filters, they don't work because, as far as I understood from the people actually explaining and being intelligent in the replies, they were saying that Glaze, Nightshade, programs like that add some extra, I think it was like coding lines or extra noise or extra like, you know, like differences to the image that a filter like that cannot do. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. But that's also the reason why I put it automatically that you can use Glaze. But then we had another issue, is that Glaze is heavy on the GPU, guys. So what do you do if you don't have a PC that can literally run a rendering of your art, right? You're gonna have to use another alternative, first of all. Also, if anyone bullies me for my English, I speak 4 languages. I speak English because most of you only speak English, you know, so I can choose which language I speak. And so, like, we're speaking English right now. So, calm down, girly pops. So, what we did is that someone shared this thing here. This is Art Shield. Because if you don't have place on your, you know, PC, just use this one because you can do it online. As far as I understood, you can just like, you know, make sure like, you know, I didn't see it in like more in depth, but just, you know, if you're interested, check it out because I have no idea, you know, but like just check out all the services, you know, all the stuffs. And apparently, from what I got told, it's less heavy than Glaze. But then we got also told that Glaze has an online service, but it's with limited, like you need to get invited. And then you can use a web service. So again, like useful comments, you know, like things that really help us to go against AI, you know. And I was even making sure, asking people for stuffs like that, you know, to see if they had anything more, you know. So they, like somebody here, you know, like was showing how to poison, you know, like the AI. The thing is, like, what people don't understand, for people that don't understand what the AI does and shit like that. So what will happen is, like, yeah, even if you put your image with a filter and shit like that, the AI is still gonna analyze the scene. It's still gonna, like, see things. It's gonna see elements. So it's gonna write its own prompt. But the whole goal of this thread was that the art style of the artists that post their art is not being used as an art style that will be then reproduced by the AI. Like the ones that we always see, like Disney, Studio Ghibli is always being used as well. You know, like realistic art, whatever, you know? Something locally to me, I could scientified a little here, as they were trying to teach kids in school here to use AI and make art and books. No, like stop it, guys. Like, people say, like, yeah, this is like, you know, us going forward in technology. No, we are literally going backwards, because literally our brains are starting to be so stupid that you cannot even work on a skill. Like, and that's what people don't want to understand. And I'm sorry, it's mostly like people that want the easy ways out and shit like that. The fact that we will become more stupid as humans because machines do everything for us is what is going to be the doom of humanity. And if we all perish because of that, I would not even be surprised if humans were not even capable to do basic things anymore. Because literally art and things like that has been there for, like, you know, since humanity exists. And we were actually capable of doing things with our hands, using our brains, you know, like we actually had brains, we could use our hands, we could craft things, we actually discovered fire and shit like that, you know, like humans were intelligent before. Now we're going backwards again. You know, like when people say, like, we humans were stupid before, now we were far more intelligent because we were finding solutions to problems without having a little machine having to wipe our ass each time we can't do something, you know? I was shocked, like, we're not gonna teach art, just gonna use AI. That's what I'm saying, like, and it is proven that especially as a kid, you need to be able, like, to see colors, you need to be able, like, to touch things, you need to be able to, like, you know, feel textures, you need to be able to see different things, to stimulate your brain, to make it, like, work, to make it understand, to observe, to see things, and to have you actually then become a human that you can, first of all, think for yourself, create for yourself, and, you know, so that your brain doesn't fall into this thing of, like, not having the proper things to learn to itself, you know, like how they say when you're an old person, it's good if you do, like, puzzles and things like that to keep your brain kind of healthy and able to, like, keep up and stuff like that with your age. Well, it's literally important that we continue being creative and things like that, or, like, that we have hobbies and that we do things with our hands, or that we do, like, things that help us, like, keep the brain going. But of course, these AI people don't understand that, because for them it's like, what is the easiest, you know? And it's, for me, it's not just the whole thing of people saying, like, yeah, art is expensive, blah, blah, blah. No, I think when it comes to AI, people go way too, like, it's deeper than that. It's their incompetence of being able to do something that others can do. And since they have this inferiority complex, they will feel like they need to be part of something that they don't need to be part of. And they want to show off. And that's the problem, is people that have like a problem with their own self-confidence, I have the feeling, or just genuinely stupid people, to be honest with you, because I don't even want to give credit or, like, pity to people that use AI unironically every day, you know what I mean? So, like, yeah, no, this is actually, like, terrible that, like, in schools they try to, like, limit and shit like that, you know? Our teacher said that allow kids to move more creative freedom, but, like, give them a different art than drawing. Then there is so much more to art than just drawing. Music, sculpting, even, like, paper crafts, you know, like, building things from scratch. Like, I was in the art school where we literally had, like, access to, like, be it, like, wood, be it, like, you know, sculpting, you know, in different things like stone, like clay, like wood, just so you can have a feel and you create. This not only like art as in drawing, it's art in a lot of different things. And that's a skill that these people do not want to have. So they retort to like just going on ChatGPT and be like, can you make me an anime girl with big tits and a massive ass with the face same syndrome that always looks the same? That's how I see those people, to be honest. Hello bro told me he wishes he could trade digital drawing, etc. But like schools, I feel like are lazy. Yes, because the problem is that schools will also want to go with the easiest way. And the problem is, in a few countries, I'm not going to mention what specific country, America, they love to go for like the very easy solutions. Education was already not their strong point. So like, you know, if they can go with the easier solution, they're going to go for it, you know, like, trust me. But, you know, so we were like, you know, so we were having people asking genuine questions, you know? We had people like also promoting things that, you know, most likely work, don't work. We need to see, you know? And also, we don't keep anti-AI activists, choose one. I would rather like lose both my legs than support AI. So like for these type of people, girly pop, there is a difference between human-made things and just you being a lazy ass and writing a prompt into something. That is a huge difference, you know, and you have no skills for writing a prompt. Because most of the time, what I discovered, and I didn't know that about AI, okay? When I was, for the first time in my life, using ChatGPT, and I was like trying different methods with like the glazing or like different symbols, we will talk about that. Literally, that shit writes the prompt for yourself. They don't even need to write anything. So that makes them even stupider. You know what I mean? The fact that you don't even need to write it, that the machine writes it for you. Girl, you can't be serious right now. You ain't on the same level as any artist out there. Like, Jesus. It's literally, when I was testing it, first of all, I didn't give my email. Like, I was doing it on different websites because, like, you know, on different, like, internet browsers because I didn't want to sign up on ChatGPT. I think you have, like, 2 tries and then you need to, like, sign in. And I was like, nah, fuck you, brother. And it was literally, like, the only thing I wrote was, like, recreate this, you know, to see if the bitch would recreate the same thing. And it's writing the prompt. And I was like, mais c'est grave. So you're not even capable of writing something. You know? You're not even capable of writing something, brother. That is so fucking crazy to me. And yeah, and like I said, like people were like, you know, that these things don't, like those overlays don't work because it can be easily denoised with a simple Python code. You would have to actually glaze software to make it work. Otherwise, it's a placebo. So again, like this person, very interesting thing that they said there. So we learned that these specific filters like over the are not working, but just then make sure you use a program that will put something over it that is not just a filter. So that's what we learned, okay? Oh, the mess that was this post, guys. C'était incroyable. I had to mute the conversation for a moment because bitch never went with this amount of likes. I was like, I literally posted it just for my artist friends. I went Hongshu me. I wake up the next morning, even though I slept in the morning, you know, like 3 a.m. I woke up, I was like, brother, what happened? And then I was checking what people were saying. So again, like I said, this image, Pinterest. We saw it. We just showed it at the beginning of stream that we have like 50 times the same image, but a tiny bit different, okay? So this is what I then took and I tried with glaze. This is with glaze. This is not with like the filters like manually put on. This is with glaze itself, okay? And I was testing it in a free AI thing that I got from a friend of mine because I did not want to give my email to any of those websites. I didn't want to, like, you know, this is a whole fucking mess already. Like, this was a lot to fucking figure out. It was so fucking annoying. And so when I asked it to make realistic, because of the filter, it did help make it look like, what the fuck even is that thing? You know what I mean? When I saw that, I was like, brother, this is, wow, ça, c'est très grave. You know? So, you know, like I was testing out like this. Next thing, hydrate, Judge Bunny, thank you. Next thing that happened, and I want you all to read something real quick, okay? Before you come and call me out like everyone did to Zentreya when she had a specific military uniform. You guys better calm down, okay? I want you all to read this with me one time for the homies, okay? Because some of you are very uneducated, especially Americans, but that is just my opinion, okay? But the origin of the symbol I used, because someone in the comments left, they actually used the German symbol. And I was like, we don't want to use that, okay? But then I was like, wait a minute. Germans stole the symbol from the Buddhism, okay? So the origin of the swastika is not German, de base. As you can see, it comes from, I will butcher that, but just read with me, you know, because I'm stupid. And so the word swastika comes from the Sanskrit swastika, which means good fortune or well-being. The motive, a hooked cross, appears to have first been used in Eurasia as early as 7,000 years ago, perhaps representing the movement of the sun through the sky. To this day, it is a sacred symbol of Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Odinism. It is a common sight on temples or houses in India or Indonesia. Swastikas also have an ancient history in Europe, appearing on artifacts from pre-Christian European cultures. Okay? Vous avez compris? If you have like the massive big brain of people that understand, normally you should understand that the Majin symbol, the one, if you are a bit into anime, you know, if you're a bit into anime, Majin symbol, Tokyo Revengers, the merch has been censored because of the swastika that was the Majin symbol and not the 30 degrees rotated one by the mustache man, okay? So that is what we are going to see as the next symbol, Twitch. We are not on the side of the mustache man. But again, just like Zentreya's situation, people have no culture and they literally think that the symbol used for testing has been the German one because they have no culture. And they never watch Tokyo Revengers, because at least if you watch Tokyo Revengers, you would know what the Majin is, you know? Like, don't be stupid. Watch Tokyo Revengers, au pire des cas, if you don't know. Or like, open like different internet websites that actually teach you about history instead of just looking at the AI deep dive, you know? Okay. I have a coin with Juan and Buddha. Yeah, because again, Germans came later, took it because, again, not like Germans as like the whole Germany. I'm talking about the chancelier allemand, you know, like the word I can't say on Twitch, you know, like the guy with the mustache, you know, like the guy that was like, we need a pure breed, and brother had like black hair and he wanted blonde people with blue eyes. Brother, you were far from what you were talking about, but you know, whatever. So we were like, somebody had tested it with the symbol that you shouldn't be using. And then I was like, but the Buddhism symbol is very close to it. So what you're gonna see is the Buddhism symbol. This ain't some German ones, okay? There is a difference, you know. I was gonna say, read some history. Most people don't read history, you know. They do, or we not. So when I tried it, this is the Buddhism symbol. See how this one is like not rotated? Buddhism symbol, okay? So when we put that on the image, I was like, interesting. That means the AI literally says that they can't recreate this image as it is because it contains a symbol that is widely associated with extremist or hateful ideology. Even if your intent is non-political or the symbol represents something else, example, manji, used in some Asian cultures, it still can generate imagery containing the shape in a way that could be interpreted as promoting or reproducing extremist symbolism, you know? But I can help you recreate the character, the pose, lighting style, expression, etc., as long as we replace the symbol with something else. So in that case, what the AI will do is to use this thing, like I said, the prompts, which is gonna like take what it sees, but it will not recreate the art style because, you know, like it's just literally gonna generate a prompt and gonna give you something similar. And that was the whole point of most of the tests, be it with Glaze, be it with like shit like that. Again, that shouldn't be a method. And again, even if I say the bad Germans shouldn't have anything, we should take everything away from them, and they should not even exist, you know? So like if we could give the symbol back to Buddhism instead of associating it with what happened back in Germany, that would be great, you know? Because they literally turn something that is meaning wealth and prosperity to make hate out of it, okay? But in this ideal world doesn't exist, you know? So people are gonna see that and they're gonna be like, oh, you are for the German party. And it's like, Americans. Literally. And so I was testing it with also a less obvious Majin Buddhism symbol that also did make the AI react, but the problem is with this symbol that is looking less like the German one, it's gonna be like, I mean, yeah, you know, we can just like recreate the character style, looking, lighting pose, blah, blah, without the extremist symbols, you know? But this one, it seems more like it's trying to find a solution, where with the other, it's like really saying like, no, I can't, but I can write a prompt that will look like this image. That's basically what it was saying, okay? So obviously what people didn't understand, and that's why I think some people have the reading comprehension of a peanut, and not the streamer peanut, like literal a peanut, you know? We know AI is gonna take any pose that you draw with a specific lighting and shit, and it will recreate it. We saw it literally when we went to Pinterest. It does the exact same thing. It does it. The goal of this is that it stop, like literally, like I said, again, look, it's gonna take the same thing again. You just say it like, give it blue hair and shit, it's gonna do the exact same thing again. But that's the thing. There it's gonna reproduce the exact art style, quote unquote, because there is no, what do I say, like no disturbance to it. Like, oh my god, Pinterest doesn't want to show me anything. But like it has no disturbance on it, so it is capable of taking the exact same thing again and just transform it a bit to be something else, right? But what the goal is for us artists now is not that it doesn't take the exact same thing and it like, you know, like that it's reproducing the pose and shit like that. The thing is that it doesn't copy the art style, because the art style is what makes the art different. We see that AI stole from different art styles. Like I said, Ghibli, or like this specific style that we see all the time, that like this shit that looks like the same all the fucking time. That is not the point now for us artists. The point is that we are like able to make sure that the AI isn't training on a specific art style, like it did, for example, with the art style of Studio Ghibli. And that is what these people didn't understand, because everyone was trying to be like, oh, but look, I removed the filter, I can do the exact same thing again, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I don't care if if you generate the same image again, like especially on this one, because it's already AI. Like what I care about is the art style of people, not the fact that you can like create the piece, like generate the piece in an other art style. That I don't give a shit about. The important thing is that it stops training on actual artists' art style. That's the main focus of what we should be worrying about, you know? Because like, you know, when Studio Ghibli found out, I don't know, like, if someone knows more about the whole thing that happened with Studio Ghibli, if there is any like legal actions being taken or like different protections that will be put in place, you know, that you can like go to a court and say like, yeah, these bitches are using my art style to do things like that. Can I do something about that? I think that is going to be a step that is going to be very important, is that it goes past through like the government and like that they look into things to be able to like punish people that are using, you know, like from a big company or like even from smaller artists, so that we can protect our like own like rights and copyrights from AI. I think that would be the most sensible thing to do, and maybe find actually something that would help reduce like the AI training, to poison the AI. That is two things that should be the main focus, is to poison the AI and to be able to have other rights, you know, being put in place now when it comes to the era of internet. Because I know we already have this thing with like the Majin, sorry. Majin is the symbol for the Buddhism symbol that like is a swastika, but is not the German swastika. Again, people are stupid as fuck, but you know. And then, like I said, since, you know, there is already like these deep fakes and shit like that, I know that this is more of a priority than it is with art, because with deep fakes, it's impacting real people. So obviously, I'm pretty sure when it will come to AI and some different things that you can do to punish the people doing things like that, I think it's going to be more focused on like a real impact on real people before it's going to come to art. And I think that's going to just take a bit too long, a bit too many years until we have proper things set up to be able as artists to say like, no, I don't want my art being used in AI, you know what I mean? So, you know, like I said, the point of this thread is for the artist's art style to not be replicated. Of course, the AI will retake the OG image and rewrite a prompt, but it doesn't train from the OG art style. That is already a win. The AI bros don't get it though, you know? So, and then someone said like, well, for starters, I tell you, a lot of the methods you're using to test are basically incapable of reproducing the input art style to begin with. ChatGPT, for example, I've never been able to get accurate reproduce the art style of an image I give it. Well, that's already good to know that ChatGPT is not able to, like, you know, reproduce the art style of an artist. But that still doesn't stop the fact that, you know, you're gonna like copy an image. Again, the thing is like, me personally, if we talk about that, if someone, for example, be it an artist or an AI lazy piece of shit, right? If your goal is just to exactly copy an art piece that you see, be it as you drawing it or you generating it, it's the same type of bullshit. That is already so badly seen in the art community. If you do it as like I said, an artist, and you just steal like an exact concept, that is already bad. You do that with AI, it's just as bad, worse even. So like, at this point there, when people just like take and redo shit like that, and it just looks like trash, it looks like trash, you know, like, c'est de la merde, Fista, c'est de la merde en boîte. We don't really care about that, because like, it has no life, and it's just you wanting to think you're so funny. And that's one that I need to show you guys, because someone literally, like I said, did that on Silas, and I was like, he looks like Pilus, his ugly cousin, you know what I mean? But so as we were continuing to see, like, you know, I was wondering if the Glaze project had an online service, and someone had apparently reached out to WebGlaze for months via email, the last resort too, and they've never gotten back to me. Is there anything I can do about that? Like, sorry, I do not know about that, but from other people that I have seen, they said that you need to email this specific, like, WebGlaze to get into this, and I think they should make it something available for anyone, for everyone, because that shit's gonna be used a lot if you put it online. Like, you know, and even, I'm sorry, to be honest with you all, if that shit works, and I need to pay like $5 a month, brother, I'm gonna pay those $5 a month. I don't care. Like, if that helps your service keep running, and it is proven to be perfect against AI, people are gonna pay. But like, do this, you know, like, make sure we have access to things like that. It's important, you know? There was someone who said I was speaking about someone who allegedly was caught using tracing, and it's doing a commission, which is a little crazy. Is it like the latest one with, I forgot their name, Aisami Art or something like that? How they yapping? We yapping, bestie. We yapping, and we bullying people that use AI. If you love hearing me bully people, that this is the stream for you, girly pops. This one's also going to be on YouTube, like I said, because, again, a lot of interesting informations, a lot of interesting stuffs that we will be going through and things like that, you know. But why are you screaming? Like I said, I was, you know, like, checking. Yeah, they said these overlays don't work, you know. yeah, so people saying obviously that Nightshade and Glaze are like very heavy on the GPU, which it is, and I'm lucky that I have a PC that, you know, il charbonne le PC, because I'm also using Live 2D on that PC, so this bitch is should be working pretty well, you know what I mean? Because if it doesn't, like, I'm gonna have issues using Live 2D. But no, like, I agree that Glaze is very heavy on the GPU. I can literally show you guys, because Glaze, to give you a little bit of an idea on how it looks like, so that you guys can understand, because I always use Glaze, but I also use a noise filter on my images as well. So you literally just select your image, and I'm putting it on the highest value. Even it's gonna take like 4 minutes to render, but if you don't have a strong PC, it's not gonna take 4 minutes. It's gonna take you 5 business days, to be honest with you. So, you know, if you test it on GPT, now I'm curious, test some others. As long as you don't actively partake in generating images, like I said, I tested it on some AI bullshit already, you know? So, like, it was already AI generated à la base, you know? And that's what some people didn't understand. Like, some people were like, you generated images, that's crazy. No, bitch, I literally went on Pinterest. Like, need a link to see all the similar ones on Pinterest? I can give it to you, sis. So, like, yeah, I put it on 4, which is again like the slowest. So you shouldn't have a game running in the background when you do that, or you should really stay on the window when you render with Glaze, because if you do something else on the side, this bitch is gonna take way longer. So you really need to wait 4 minutes there like an idiot. So, like, I don't know, you know, you just go make yourself a snack or something, like, while this is rendering for a PC that is good, again. Because if you have a PC with, like, less GPU and things like that, like, the RAM is not good, it's gonna be, like, you know, heavy on your PC. And then, apparently, you search this up. This is a hologram with colors. It was taken on Pinterest, and then you can actually screw up the AI by just placing this. The thing is, like, again, these are things that need to be tested. And to be honest, I am... yeah, and again, like, people say mostly AI doesn't really care about overlays like that. Things like glazing and nightshade are more than just simple overlays. Yeah, so that's what we figured out, is that these things actually are not like just, you know, a layer on top of your art. So it's like adding more to it, which is very super fucking interesting, because even I didn't know, to be honest, because again, I'm not an IT tech guy. I was literally just a little guy saying that I hope people glaze their art, or like stop uploading it in high quality. Because at this point, you don't need, like, I really want artists to understand this. You don't need to upload your art on high quality anymore. When I post my art on Twitter, I glaze my art, I take a screenshot of that art, so the quality is even more disgusting, so that, like, you know, when it comes to that, I just, for Twitter or like any other website, this is how I do it. I glaze, I take a screenshot of that glazed art, so that the quality is doo-doo fucking caca. But you get the idea of the art, you know? So you don't need to see everything high quality. The important thing is that people see the idea and that you protect your art. So something we need to start doing, really. And I insist, and I hope artists can understand, like, you don't need to put it as high quality. We will follow you nonetheless. Only stupid people that use AI slop are the only one that will not follow. But you don't care, because they use AI slop. You don't want these people to follow you. Trust me, you don't want these people to follow your ass. So, like, do yourself a favor, and please, not to be like, you know, like some, oh, I know better than you. Absolutely not, girly pops. Like, I am far from being that intelligent. I am far from that. But I just wanna find solutions to help artists, because I genuinely care about artists as people, the amount of work they put into the art. Like, sometimes I work on an art piece for 12 goddamn hours straight. I know the struggle. If we can find a solution, please, if that whole fucking conversation, even if people are stupid as fuck, like, some were like generally the dumbest motherfuckers I have ever seen on planet Earth, but even then, if we found solutions, that is all that matters about this thread. I don't care if people are like now coming to troll me and be like, oh, look, I generated this that you just posted, blah, blah, blah. Guys, so that you know, je m'en bats les couilles, mais d'une puissance surdimensionnelle. I even say it in French, because that's how much I don't care about you doing that, you know? I'm just saying. You can't Get to me with that. I don't give a fuck. Genuinely. I mean, to draw an image like that, or if there is anything to worry about, it's like, I just remove, and there is so much AI programs out there these days. That's the thing, there are many out there. And that's why I'm saying that there should be someone, and it's not gonna be me, girly pops, because I am not good at coding, okay? You need someone with the biggest fucking brain out there to code something that works. And I wish that we would have someone so fucking dedicated that even if the AI bypasses something, that this guy will be back onto it and immediately fix it so that the AI can never, ever, ever get to it. You know what I mean? But that would require a lot of dedication. But that would be a national hero, an international hero. What am I even yapping about? I was literally putting a hand on my wall. That's how much I wish that existed. You know what I mean? So, like I said, then these type of overlays sadly do not work. We need peoples. We need peoples. We need peoples. And then, you know, like Block Grok has also been confirmed to not be working. But when I was blocking Grok, I never saw, like, you know how you can still see accounts? Even if you block them, you can see what they are posting. I blocked Grok. You know, I have blocked Grok for a while now because somebody pinged me once and when the fucking chaos, and I was like, bitch, what the fuck? So I blocked Grok. And I can't see if it's generating anything. I have no idea. So, if anyone sees it, let me know, but moi je vois rien du tout, frère. Those images of like don't work in the slightest. Yeah, we know that. We saw that. Can admit I used to do filter on my art without it being anti-AI, though it can still be against AI, I believe. But one recent art I did will put a filter. Okay, I'll disable comments on that previous art I did. I don't understand, but I guess what they mean by that is that, like, you should be anti-AI. Be anti-AI. That's the only thing I'm gonna tell you. Will Glaze work on prints? To be honest, I am pretty sure, like I said before, it will fuck up how the art is supposed to look like. Just how the example we showed, you know, like the how this blonde guy looks like. It looks very fucked up when you use the highest form of glaze. So I could imagine that it works to, like, not have the exact same recreation of your art, so to speak. So you're gonna, yeah, they're gonna recreate it, but like looking very fucking different, you know, like either super fucking ugly or in a different art style, you know, that stolen art style. So I wouldn't even really tell you if that's the, you know, like if it's gonna be working. I have yet to see evidence of this doing anything. That's why literally we have this thread, so you guys can see. I have no idea if you can use these programs on selfies and photos. I mean, yes, you can. You can, literally. Yeah. Yeah, you can. I think, and that's actually also a very good point. To put that on pictures, because, especially women and kids, yeah, because people are very fucking disgusting. So see, it's not just even an art issue. It's a deep fake issue. It's a issue that just is disgusting, because people will use AI to worse shit out there, you know, like this person is saying, like, people will use pictures of women and toddlers, children, to have, you know, like, horrendous things, you know. That phone. You just share Macintosh on the Kara site. Yeah, I know that. I think Clip Studio has implemented something like in the program to glaze your art, so which is not gonna just put a filter on it like, you know, you would do it with a multiply layer over it. I think it's gonna glaze it more, but I need to look into that because I think I haven't updated Clip Studio in a while, and I think that should be a norm now in art programs, especially if you pay for them. Yeah, someone should make something like that for music. I don't know how you could even, like, poison music so it's not in AI, you know? As far Yeah, they have this is exactly how I was doing it before Glaze existed. This is how we did it, but we saw that this is allegedly not working. So, mhm. Yeah. So like again, this the Glaze website seems to be an issue. So guys, please, if you work for them, please, you know, change all listening to bone conduction and all music to vibrations. Well, the thing is, like, I see a lot of websites that like where you can share music actually banning like AI musicians in quotes. So that is actually a W, because I think what would help a lot is if the websites will ban actively. You know, like Pinterest ain't gonna ban AI. Twitter for sure ain't gonna ban AI. You know, because of course it wouldn't. You know, like websites like VGen, they do ban AI. You know, so like we need more websites to just straight up ban AI, because that would already make it way better to just like not have this shit like plagued everywhere online. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a lot of petition and laws on change. I sure hope they are going to work. You know. Um. Uh. Some people think stupid. I still love sometimes to see stupid people, even if it contributes nothing to this to the conversation. Stay silly. I still enjoy it. Mm. Oh, actually, let's see what does this person say. I can't see because I blocked Grok, which is blocked. I can't see shit. Like I can't see if Grok ever replied. I can't see chat. And I'm not gonna unblock it just to see what people do, you know? Like, I don't want to see that, you know? And so this is literally where it started, that this person had like tried it. Like, you see up there, it's a bit of the symbol, and down there it's gonna say, you know, like the black swastika at the top is also painted, you know? Like, so, you know. So yeah, it was very interesting to see that this was a fucking weird thing to kind of not have any like AI programs like ChatGPT use it. You know what I mean? Okay, like this person said, you know, like you might want to check out Glaze and Nightshade. Glaze makes changes to your art, not only that only computers can see. Essentially, the AI model being trained thinks it's a completely different image, while the human sees the real art. Here's a link on more info. That is actually interesting. So if anyone wants to check it out, I mean, let's check it out. What am I? Qu'est-ce que je yap? We are here to check it out together, girly pops. So, generative AI models have changed the way that we create and consume content to be Glaze is a system designed to protect human artists by disrupting style. That's the thing. That's the thing that these people that were looking at the thread did not understand. Glaze is a system designed to protect human artists by disrupting style mimicry. So not like image composition, art style. Do I need to say it like Nosferatu for people to understand? You must not change the style, you know? Glaze works by understanding the AI models that are training on human art and using the machine learning algorithms computing and a set of minimal changes to artwork, such as it appears unchanged to human eyes, but appears to AI models like a dramatically different art style. For example, human eye might find a glazed charcoal portrait with a realism style to be unchanged, but an AI model might see the glazed version as a modern abstract style, a la Jackson Pollock. So when someone then prompts the model to generate an art mimicry, the charcoal artist, they will get something quite different from what they expected. And that is literally this this thing that I tried here for the people that still don't understand what was happening. Style mimicry. So instead of recreating this, it recreated this. And so that is what the point of glazing art is not that it's not gonna like retake the that is not gonna retake the goddamn like composition and shit like that. It's just not gonna redo this thing, you know? It's just not gonna redo this specific art style. So like it's not gonna copy. Oh yeah, and here is interesting also to see the risk and the limitations. Yeah, because obviously research in machine learning moves quickly, and there are the inherent risk in relying on a tool like Glaze. Changes made by Glaze are more visible on art with flat colors and smooth backgrounds. The new update Glaze has made great strides along its front, but they will continue to look for ways to improve. Virtual Glaze is not a permanent solution against AI mimicry. Systems like Glaze face the inherent challenge of being future-proof. Radia et al. It is always possible for techniques we use today to overcome by future algorithm, possibly rendering previously protected art vulnerable. Thus, Glaze is not this word in English that I can't say because I'm French, but a necessary first step towards artistic-centric protection tool to resist AI mimicry. And that's the whole fucking point of this whole fucking thing, is to protect from copying art style. We don't care if your stupid AI is gonna retake an image composition. Like, people with no inspiration are gonna do that all the time, not only those who use AI, even like artists that just want a quick buck, that are gonna copy other people's homework. That has always been a thing. So like, obviously we know that your shitty AI is gonna retake exactly the same pose, same lighting, same thing. That is not the fucking point of why we want to glaze the art. But yeah. Anyways, so that's what that's what this is about. Yeah, so obviously like stupid people using like stuffs like removing filters, like glaze filters and shit like that. Yeah, again, GPU issue. AI is obviously gonna do it, like if you screenshot, even if you draw fucking un bonhomme bâton, a stick figure, it's gonna try and do something out of it. So it doesn't matter, really. It doesn't matter like how you upload it. It's gonna use it, you know. Well, yeah, obviously it's AI, you stupid fuck. And then obviously people use, what the fuck is that ugly shit? Brother, that shit's so ugly. Like, they use gallons of waters because, again, they don't need to take showers, so they're gonna use shit like that, you know, because they know, like, this person, for example, first of all, you can all boo at them, like, look at that. A guy who enjoys art, and then they use AI, like, oh, fuck off, mon petit. You know? Like, this shit's so ugly. Like, why? Why does it look like that? Oh my fucking... It's so ugly. Oh, mais c'est si moche. Chat, c'est si moche. That's actually interesting. You know, just one of you can actually test it if any of it works at all. It's nuts that nobody but the Glaze and Nightshade sites have example of it working. And that's also what I'm wondering, like, you know, we need people to actually also try without using their own art. That's what I'm saying, you know, like, don't use your own art to, like, test things. Like, literally, like I said, I used an AI thing, you know, like, I used an AI generated disgusting doo-doo caca from Pinterest to test it. I did not use any, like, of my art or any of my friends' arts, you know. Can you make anti-AI filter blue and white for Israeli artists? And how about you just fuck off? The fuck is that, chat? The fuck is that? What is... We do need testing teams. Just like how you QA in video games. You should just like have teams that test this shit. What is this phone, brother? What is that? Yeah, what is that? Yo, bro. Just be bad at art and AI won't steal your shit. That is actually such a not true statement. Because, like I said, you can draw a literal stick figure and the AI will write a whole fucking prompt about it. So no, it doesn't matter what level of art you have. No matter your level. And that's as a thing for artists as well. Even if you think your level is not like to the highest yet, first of all, don't say that, because as long as you pick up the pencil, you already have far more level and skill than people that are like generating shit. But no matter your art, you know, like make sure you protect it regardless, because people are gonna take really anything. They don't care. Because like I said, they just steal. They steal, you know? So I tried this image with the filter, so all of you don't have to do it. Here are the results. When I tried with Grok asking him to make the girl from the center eat ice cream, he tried, but he couldn't copy the art style after I asked Grok specifically to maintain it. Interesting. So this person's like was testing on this. So they were saying the image generation request did not follow our content policy. Interesting. So like it generated something fucking completely different in an art style that has been stolen over and over and over and over again. But it wasn't replicating this exact image. And that again, wow, why is there some very freaky music in the background? What is this? And why is there so very freaky music in the background? That's not the type of stream we're having right now. But okay, so see, this is interesting. To use different methods to test it. And the only thing, like I said, the AI can do is to replicate a whole different image that has nothing to do with the original image, which is exactly what we try to do there. It's not that it's like, if it does shit like that, on s'en bat les couilles, frère, because that's ugly, that has nothing to do with anything. There is a fucking massive mistake here on the clothing. What is happening? Those fingers, what the heck is happening? Again, like, what is that? The eyes are wonky as heck. And everything just looks so freaking basic. The hair is always melting into everything, you know, disgusting as fuck. But at least it didn't replicate this thing. It didn't change this, which is interesting, you know. Is there an option to glaze on mobile? I don't think so. The textures anti-AI filter don't work. Yeah, we saw that. Fuck, it's not working. Good for you, my guy. Because again, it's just doing the exact same thing. So like, you know, like always the same shit, you know. Because it already has trained on this specific art style, so of course it's gonna have no issues redoing that. Because we saw on Pinterest, you have like a 10,000 same times the same face. So obviously the AI is gonna be like, yeah, we already have that in our database. And that's what these people also don't understand. That's why I used an AI thing, you know. Like this, like some people were like making it like much more deeper than, like they tried to be like, you know, like Yagami being like, hey, I bypassed your little thing, I'm so smarter. And I'm just sitting there like, whatever you say. First, it doesn't work. Second, you don't know how generative AI works. Third, you can't fight the progress of going backwards. Ride mode on Twitch. Okay, wait. I just need 2 seconds. Go away because somebody shared literal porn there. And then somebody generated some AI BS of my character, and I was like, okay, but you still smell. And then we have people deciding to literally start bullying for whatever fucking reason. So, hi there, Kay, Tyrer. Are you using AI? Of course they are. So, everyone boo this person. Boo this person. They smell bad. They smell bad and they are a bad image on the Fury community. They are a bad image on the Fury community. You are trash. I hope you know that with all the love, you know, but you're still trash. And so I was like, okay, brother, but then how about you, educate us? And then again, my point. Or I mean, I guess you can do this if you want everyone to think you are a chancelier allemand, Again, because people... I need to take it out again because... Are they American by any chance? Are you American? Are you American by any chance? Okay, I will never know, but I'm pretty sure they are. Because again, tap on the screen. Can you read? Can you read? Because some of you, vous êtes un petit peu con, hein? You are a little not, I bet these are the type of people that were like, Zentreya has German Second World War outfit, type stuffs, There's such a bad absolute failure in communication for the people who develop glaze about that glaze is or what it does to technically illiterate audience who are prone to fill in their own gaps on technology because they aren't able to grasp basic concept. So instead of yapping all those big ass words there, like that I do understand because I actually speak English as my fourth language, so I do understand what you're saying right there, brother. But instead of being all like high and mighty on your horses there, how about you just instead of being a little stupid like that, how about you just educate us like you were saying we should be educated? When you yourself, just accept like bullying and shit happening, But like I said, but again, like, oh la connerie humaine, ça me fascinera toujours, mais d'une puissance, frère. This doesn't even make any sense. Putting a swastika on a picture doesn't stop it from training. Obviously, you dimwit. But it's not gonna retake the art style because it's gonna give you a different prompt and it's gonna generate you something completely like, yeah, okay, same pose, same stupid, like I said, image composition, but it's not gonna steal your art style. And again, this thing should not be a solution. Sometimes I wonder, like, people love to say that other people are stupid, but the level of non-thinking that people do when they want to be high and mighty is what makes me really think that some people have just this thing of like, I want to seem better than you instead of actually giving solutions. But since it seems that you love AI, of course you ain't gonna give solutions, You want to be all high and mighty and shit like that, So like, of course ChatGPT is gonna describe it. T'es con, frère. Of course it's gonna describe it and it's gonna make a prompt, but it's gonna put it in a different art style. Like, do I need to explain it to you? Like, you want what? French, German, Luxembourgish, English? Or you want me to explain it to you like you're 5 years old? Like, you know what I mean? Non, c'est grave quand même. C'est grave quand même. And then again, like, the thing is, like, people look only the surface. We established that blocking grok is not going to stop it. You starting to fall into their level of insult chat. This is not good because, like, again, oh my god. If you want explanations again, just go at the beginning of the video. Go back at the beginning of the VOD because, like, if you try to explain and over-explain your point to such people, you're literally trying to explain it to a 5-year-old that just gained consciousness of the fact that they are alive. And I think that's literally what AI people are. Like, they literally gained consciousness and it's not even developed at all. They just know they exist. You know what I mean? Oh my god. Yeah, the Buddhist swastika isn't a Nazi symbol exactly, but again, oh my god. Tempting to feel pity for people like this, but this whole community is based on deep ignorance about everything, and there's nothing respectable about that, says the person using AI. Says the person using AI. You asked to remove symbols, it will sadly, after a little testing with some AI slop I found online. That's why I said this is literally not a solution. But again, people of Twitter, what did you expect? Of course, after a while, it's gonna bypass it, you know? Of course. And that's what I'm saying. This whole thing is for us to find a solution, you know? It's for us to find a solution without obviously now using any religious symbols. Overall, please don't like start putting religious symbols on stuffs unless it's like a specifically made non-harmful religious piece of art. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna start putting Buddhist symbols everywhere, because even for the Buddhist people, you know, like they're gonna be like, why the fuck you put our symbol everywhere? Like our symbol is meant for this and that. That is also a sort of disrespect, you know what I mean? And that's what people don't understand. Of course, you're not gonna use that as a solution. Brother, we just literally found it out that this is something that is happening in stuffs like ChatGPT and stuff like that, you know? It's not a fucking solution. But people that use AI think that they're like, see, there are so many not solutions that we're so much better. And that is the problem with those people, you know? This is, you know, and then again, like, check out his works. The strength of the anti-AI filter is hilariously strong. And I'm just like, oh my god, guys. I am the big alpha male now, because apparently I'm a guy. Thank you very much. I appreciate you thinking that I am a guy. Do you have an AI profile picture? Almost looks like that. Yeah, okay. I see what type you are. Yeah. Yeah, you smell. You smell very bad. I don't need to even, you know. Okay, what did they say interesting? I mean, you can also look on how it's a specific words and understand it before you post about it, instead of letting these poor people think their art is safe with a filter. Yeah, but see, that's the whole point. If we shed light into it, people will look into that, and then we will have more information. That's literally how sharing information works. Oh putain, I think these people never went to a school. You go to school, listen, jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. You go to school, teacher teaching you things. You learn. You share knowledge with other people. These people learn different way. These people say, no, this is not correct. And then you discussions together. Bam! Finding out what real is. Did I make it understandable for people with a small brain, or like do I need to make do I need to talk even slower? Like do I need to slower, like even less words so you understand, or like, you know? This image is your original tweet. No, c'est vrai! Oh, intelligence. I'm not pro AI, but every time I try to correct people about what Glaze does or work, it doesn't work. I was immediately attacked, so there's that. Nobody okay, in this whole tweet that we saw under my thread, has anyone attacked someone for saying that Glaze is not working? Like sometimes I have the feeling people create problems that don't exist, you know? So like, nobody was attacking anyone. If they attacked you, I'm sorry for that, but I wouldn't see why people would attack you if Glaze is not working. Like, you know? If it's not working, it's not working. So like, sometimes if the people like to be a bit dramatic about that. Let you link the Glaze service in your initial tweet. You know where to find out how Glaze actually works. Yeah. Just for him. Juste parce que tu es si beau. Lis ma petite salope. I mean, read. It's healthy to read. Your brain's gonna, you know. Oh my god. I don't think OP makes any claims at how it works. I saw one person in the replies misunderstand and paste pictures on top, which also why I wouldn't get smug about that, because they're artists, not tech bros. They don't need a PhD of a specific process of AI to want to opt out. This person said it. Need extra reading with all the AI slop these days. That's what I'm saying. No, but like, I don't think OP makes any claims as on how it works. Yeah, exactly. Someone is smarter than many people in these comms. I legit just told Glaze art and never claimed was an abstract We know everything is temporary. I like intelligent people. Support them anyways. Would rather the chronically gullible do magic rituals around Glaze than self-lobotomize with chatbots. I agree. I never put a random shade at 50% opacity on my drawing because if for some reason I have to make every single pixel one color or clear gradient, because if there's a small speck of dust at like 2 units brighter in the blue shadow, like... D'accord, j'ai pas compris, mais c'est bien, c'est bien. Just making the objectively worse. Yeah, let me spend time drawing these fine details and then glaze over it and make it look like blurry shit instead. That is the point. That is the point. Because if you want your art to be seen in high quality, it's gonna be like, especially, okay, listen, if you're a freelance artist, the one that's gonna get the high quality art is gonna be your client. If you post it online, you're gonna post it with a glaze because it just gives the idea on what you drew. Again, I said it would be best to not upload your art in the highest of qualities. You know what I mean? If it's like for you selling it in conventions, of course you're gonna print it out in high quality. If it's you sending it to a client, of course you're not gonna glaze the art for the client. You literally give the art in high quality to the hands it's supposed to go to. The world itself doesn't need to see it in high quality. It is that simple. You know what I mean? Ah, putain, c'est fou, chat, c'est fou. Ah. Do we protect our faces and our art? How do we poison the well? That's actually interesting. Anyone has a... The only winning move is to not post it. Even if you don't post it, guys, even if you don't post pictures and shit like that, if someone has something against you, you know how the internet works. So even if you don't post shit, at some point someone's gonna get their hand on the shit you made, or like the pictures you took, or things like that. Like, even not posting anything is like not gonna help anyone. You know what I mean? You take an example. You have an ex. They decide to do something called revenge porn. You never consented to post these images. Now the shit is out there. And then people are gonna use it. Even if you actively don't post, there will always be someone doing it for you. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying you shouldn't be posting anymore, but we should post with things that attack the AI. And that is why, if people genuinely have solutions, this thread exists for the genuine solutions. Glaze is a cult. Yeah, guys, I'm in the cult of Glaze. We pray every Sunday and we have sacrifices happening in a cave. Asking anti-AI people to understand anything about AI they hate is like asking anti-vaxxers to understand vaccines. Huh? Okay, I need to be careful when shit is in spam. Sometimes you find things you shouldn't be seeing, so we're gonna be scrolling very slowly down there, you know? Oh, okay. It's two guys. But yeah, then again, like I said, we tested it with different glaze. Again, The whole point of this thing is the fact that obviously it's gonna retake the stuffs, it's gonna redo the pose, it's gonna redo the lighting composition, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. We understood that. The thing that we want to avoid and repeat after me is just that we do not have mimicry from the art styles of the artists. Voila. Okay, and interesting, someone said something actually that is an explanation. We like when people give us an explanation, especially if they are an artist and a game dev. So they say this isn't how glaze works. It has no effect here. Glaze and Nightshade work by introducing very strong patterns humans can't see into the image, which makes the AI believe that eyes are big blobby square or hair is a rectangular shape, etc. A certain percentage of the images in the training data are glazed. The output model is a lot worse. That's how the defense works. Your image here is used as an already existing model, so no training corruption took place. And see, wow, we love that. Queen, king, whatever your gender is, that is actually a very great explanation. Let me retweet that, because that is actually... No! I can't retweet it because they most likely limited it. God damn it. Because that's actually super fucking interesting to learn that. And see, people that share knowledge. The beauty of trying to get information. And that is the whole point. But obviously we are on Twitter, so obviously I'm not taking a lot too seriously. But for me, it's just so that we can understand how AI, like anti-AI defenses work and things like that. Because that is for me the most important point that had to come out of this whole thread. And if someone sees that and is like, true, we should have better defense against AI, and they do something, and we get something that is effective for, like, you know, maybe if it's just a few months, you know, it's like, damn, yeah, that's cool. That's the whole point, you know? And if we can make things move forward instead of like going backwards by having to rely on the machine, then that would be great. The only time we should be accepting AI in our life if it's help, for example, detecting cancer, helping doctors perform very tricky operations, you know, things that are genuinely important. That is the only time I will be okay with a machine helping. But that's the thing, helping, not replacing. Understand, AI can be used for running a bunch of numbers or shit for different things, but AI doesn't belong in art or anything remotely similar. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I personally, and again, as a whole overview of this whole thing, arguing with people that use AI to create anything that has to do with art, it's so useless to talk to them because they never had this thing of like being able to put their hand into the craft. Because, like, again, they want to belong into a group of people. They don't, like, nobody wants them. Like, you know, they want to be part of the art community so bad, but nobody wants them. So, you know, like, they're gonna try and be like, oh, you know, like, look at this and that I generated. It was so complicated. Like, you literally smell. You literally smell. That's not the point. And for me, again, like, this whole thing about this thread was really to just make sure that we find solutions and maybe things that actually help, and also understand how glaze is working. Like, this person put it so perfectly. Like, macro art, I don't know what you're working on and things like that, but I'm pretty sure if you don't use AI, that your shit's fire. So, you know, this was a very good explanation, which is basically also like the explanation that we saw in here that gives us an idea on what is happening. Again, with the whole AI and stuff like that. Again, in short, of course, the AI is gonna replicate what it thinks it's seeing, but if we can poison it to a point where it doesn't replicate art style, that is the real thing we artists care about. It's not that they're gonna be like regenerating an image and it's like going to be an anime girl instead, you know? What we care about is that our art style is not being used to be trained on AI. And again, if you look at Pinterest, it's always going to be the 3 or 5 exact styles that they use because it has been trained so often in AI that you can see already. It's like always the same because before anything had been like, you know, properly monitored and shit like that, it obviously stole from very popular art styles, you know? Thank you for the lyric. You know, so like, obviously it has been stealing from very popular art styles, you know? Like I said, again, Studio Ghibli and things like that, Disney. So obviously you're always going to see the same, quote-unquote, art style being used in AI, it's gonna be this shit like that. It's always the same fucking shit. See, it's always the same fucking thing that it had been training on for as long as it was up. That's why it's obviously gonna always replicate the same thing, because that is an art style that it had already in its database, that it was like learning from, and then it's always gonna like, you know, pump out because it's something that is already like ingrained in that database, you know. But the point is to not have the database having more different art styles. That's the whole point of this whole goddamn thing. Hijacking 10 stream streak, and we're gonna stream later as well, you know, when I wake up. But again, like, you know what I mean. Again, AI has a set database of art style it had stolen and is replicating. As you can see, it's always the same fucking thing. It's always the same art styles, because that's shit that it has already stolen from, and that is in the database, you know. This style I also see a lot now in AI. This shit's also AI. But you see, like, it's always the same thing. It's always the same fucking thing. It's the same over-exaggerated in shading where it shouldn't be, and it's always the same already set in the database art styles that it had stolen. So that's why everything looks the same. It's looking all the same because, you know, it had been training on these styles. For women art, it's always the same thing. It's also the same thing for anything that has to do with women. It's always the same faces. Obviously, it's not gonna show me, but you see, it's always the same faces. It's always the same goddamn exact art style that it had stolen from, you know. It's always the exact same thing. It's never changing because it already has these art styles. And so the point now for the AI is so that we don't add more art styles for it to train from. That is the main point. And if big companies like Studio Ghibli or Disney could start taking this more seriously and actually like you know, punish people for making their work, like, you know, like put their work into AI, just like how Nintendo hates it, it would be great that, you know, it's being taken care of, that we don't have like more art styles in the database for AI. That is the whole point, because AI, like I said, is always going to use the same fucking style that it has already stolen from. You see, it's all the same thing. You see, like, maybe like 4 art styles it has stolen from. You see always the same fucking thing. All the shit's AI. And it's always the same thing. You see that it's always replicating one of the styles it has already saved, you know, like, you see that. You see this whole shit. It's always the same thing. It's always the same thing. And that's why I think AI is just like, again, like, this is also a very popular one that I see has been stolen. I think that might come from Sam Does Art or something like that. You know what I mean? And again, like, you can see, like, it's always going to be, again, the same generated crap, same thing, same faces. Like, these ugly-ass faces, always the same fucking thing. But you see what I mean? Doesn't change. Always looks the same. They also use a lot of My Hero Academia art on AI training. Like, the mangaka should literally do something about that. That, like, this is crazy. And that's the thing, is we need people, you know, we need people to work on, like, making rules about how the AI is not allowed to replicate styles, that artists will be able to, like, take that to court and say, like, listen, this is my livelihood, someone is just stealing my stuffs. Can we have set in, you know, like, rules that would make it so that we can, you know, win a case or get this shit off? Because obviously the internet is always going to keep the images, so it's impossible to completely remove images, but at least that they get compensated and that the person gets, like, some sort of sentence for, like, stealing, because, you know, like, you steal and it's copyright infringement. And that's, I think, the most important things that we should now be able to work on. Jesus fucking Christ, AI is always so disgusting. It always has to sexualize everything, so I need to sometimes scroll by past. And you see, it's always the same fucking thing. It's always the same fucking thing. It's always the same thing. It's always the same goddamn thing. And that is why we should make sure that the AI doesn't train on different art styles. That, you know, like, there should be a way for us artists to poison the art so that the AI doesn't have access to the art style of people. And something I saw is like people being like, yeah, but you have no art style. Like if this person doesn't have an art style, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't fucking matter. Because like if something is a bit like out of the ordinary, these people are going to be like, oh yeah, we're going to use this now, blah, 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 you know? And Jesus, this is ugly. This is so fucking... What is that, chat? It does work. Glaze is supposed to protect artist style if lore of them was created. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Oh my god. Is that? Is that? What is that? But see, again, proving my point. Yeah, the AI is gonna retake the same composition and shit, but it's gonna... This art style specifically that like I posted, like this one, obviously we saw that it has been already used for training. So that's why this shit's gonna look similar to the other. Because it's already an art style that has been, you know, like used for AI training. And that's what they think that most of us don't understand that. And that's what is sad, because like again, the whole point is for us to find a way for the AI to not steal art styles. I need to show you something, guys. Now people are going under my comments and trying to be like, thinking they're better. Look at my beautiful husband, Stylus. What is that? What is that? What is that ugly thing? Who is that grandpa? Why his eyes like that? What are the eyebrows doing? Why are his eyes brown? What is this watch? What is that? Why is it so yellow? This is so fucking cringe. Like, beautiful masterpiece, truly detailed, amazing, glorious king. Phyllis. Hello, I'm Phyllis. I'm his ugly cousin. So he rejected me from the family because I'm very ugly. You know, when it's like, when someone ugly tries to call you twin, that's literally how it looks like. Like, what the fuck is that? What time is it? It's 2 a.m. Don't worry. I'm always sleeping at 3 a.m. Pixie, come on now. Yo, that shit mad ugly. That shit's so fucking ugly, I swear. Phyllis, the love interest in love and peep space. God, that is ugly. It's so fucking ugly, man. We'll see that actually is the attempt to make your own are unable to be changed with AI. What are they yapping about here? That's not how AI works. You say as if there is proof that it AI works. They are putting an image of an existing AI model, the thing that has already been trained with the data set with images. The only works when someone tries to train a new AI model with a batch of images infected with that filter, because AI needs to clear and high quality images to work. Mais c'est ça le pire. I'm gonna call you Al. Brother, you had a brain cell there for a solid 5 minutes when you wrote that. That's literally why I don't use a new art style. Because literally what you said there is the most intelligent thing you had said. That obviously for AI to have a new art style and stuff like that, you would have to have high quality, non-infected images. That is the point. Bravo, putain. Alcanzio, putain. Tu es si beau. Tu es si intelligent, putain. Love and Pete space. That is literally what it is, yeah. Glaze works to make it so that people can turn your work into AI, not to break the AI itself. Voilà. C'est bien. This person has the brain cells. That is absolutely amazing. You mean an AI model? It's an algorithm that breaks some stable diffusion model when you try to train it. Putting it over with opacity low doesn't work. That's literally what we figured out. But people don't read. But I mean, I'm not surprised. It's Twitter. You look at the original image, you will see that that actually it is intended to make your own art unable to be changed with AI. Voila. Voila, that's voila. Voila. Like, funny enough, this was actually an intelligent conversation. An intelligent conversation, guys. Oh putain que. Oh putain que. But again, let's see if anything else has been added to this. Oh. Okay, another we saw that. Why is this? These are so ugly. I'm gonna have nightmares of seeing these, I swear. Listen, I'm also anti-AI, but people are right here in saying it does not work. Glazing works to make people worse by poisoning training data, primarily to obfuscate style to prevent your individual art style from being reproduced. Exactly. Like others have shown, and I can verify, Nano Banana has no problems recreating or altering this image. Like, blocking Grok will prevent him from replying to your threads, thus preventing him from supplying the image in replies. Use Glaze, absolutely, but only to protect your own art from being recreated. We will not stop your current AI models from altering. Exactly, and this is also very well explained. Nef and VTuber, very well explained as well. And that is now the whole point of this thread, is that people gave us this information, and that is exactly what we needed. Also, I love how they are like, I don't know why I called the AI him. I'm so cooked. Because men. Because we blame everything on men. That is such a good explanation. And I am glad many will explain it. This is also why I did not want to give AI art. Because, voila, because, merde, and I cannot even write because. But yeah, so basically that was the whole fucking AI saga. We learned that there are things that work, there are things that don't work, and there are people being stupid as fuck. But then again, you know, are we surprised? Twitter, you know, but at least and again, like, for people who like are like this person, wait, where was this person? Like this guy, girl, you don't respect my gender, I don't respect yours, so I'm just gonna call you a helicopter, I guess, because whatever the fuck you are, creature. You know, like, you know, saying shit like that of my art. Again, I want you to know that I personally don't give a shit what people say about my art, to be honest. Because sometimes, you know, like, it's funny how people are like, how do I say that? Go to sleep, have a good stream, take care. Oh, don't worry, I'm also almost gone with stream because done with stream because it's like also late for me, and I'm gonna stream later some rigging, guys, some actual artist work, you know. So we're gonna be doing some rigging. Again, like, when it comes to people like threatening to like put my art in AI servers, first of all, like, I did glaze all of my art that is posted on Twitter on low quality for a fucking reason. And then second of all, if you like say that my art is too ugly to be put in AI, good. Then that's perfect. If you say my art is too ugly to be put in AI or something like that, mais c'est excellent. That's perfect. I am glad then. You know, if you think my art is not worth it, perfect. That's perfect. I don't know if they don't realize that that's literally a good thing, because I don't want you to put that in it. Like, you know, like, you think I'm gonna be like, no, oh my god, you're saying my art is not good enough to be like being turned into slop. This is so sad. Like, brother. And yeah, again, guys, when I was talking about this whole thing, again, as I said, Don't use religious symbols as a solution. Obviously, I said that as a thing that when I posted that, it was to show that the AI is considering Buddhism symbols as an issue and doesn't want to replicate then the art style it sees. It wants to replicate the image composition and the way the image is, but it's not going to be like, you know, recreating the exact thing. So that was an interesting take. But then again, I said to people, do not use this as a method, even if the symbol is of a different origin. This should not be a solution. The best approach would be to have a foolproof method that does not require the use of symbols viewed as a symbol of hate, you know? And especially, like I said, again, this was the Majin symbol, so it's not a symbol of hate. It's literally a symbol of wealth and good fortune. But, you know, people are gonna, obviously, anything they see is gonna be like, to them, it's gonna be like, you love the German guy, like, brother. I already don't like Germany as its own thing. I lived in Berlin for 5 years, like, you know what I mean? But again, overall, religious symbols should not be used as a, like, you know, as something we use as a method to protect ourselves, because again, that is also a lack of respect towards the religion that the symbols are belonging to. So obviously, guys, don't go around and put like Buddhism symbols everywhere on your art as well. Like, obviously that's not a solution, but guys don't see like the irony of this thing, because again, Twitter takes it too seriously. But guys, please, for the love of everything, do not use Buddhism symbols. You know, like, don't use any sort of swastikas, especially not the German one, as like, you know, a watermark on your art, because that obviously shouldn't be a solution, shouldn't be in the first place. And I hope that all this helped us understand more on how Glaze is working and on how we should be proceeding now with the art, and to now know that you glaze your art through a program that does it and not a filter that you put above, it will be considered a poisoned image. So that means your art style, technically, if it's working as it is supposed to be working, will be protected. Yes, the AI is going to reproduce the image composition and things like that, but it will not reproduce your art style. And that is the important thing there. Guys, I have throat pains now because I yapped for almost 2 hours. So I hope this will be up on YouTube as well, like a little bit of an AI informational video. If you learned something from that and you want to share your opinions, comments, or maybe knowledge that you have about glaze and filters and a lot of different things, you know, please feel free to do so in the comments below. This is for the YouTube people, because we're gonna stop this recording soon. And again, for the people that were watching this or watching the VOD, I hope you have understood what is happening there. I tried to also explain, like, some people out there were 5 years old, because like I said, not necessarily for the AI bros, because they never want to hear any conversation about that, but mostly for people who genuinely want to understand and try to understand. And I always say, I like to explain it like we are like all a bit silly, especially for myself, because, you know what, I love to explain to myself as well, like, very, like, people need to explain it to me poorly so I understand.